Thank you, Byron. You know, yesterday, actress Allison Mack had her day in court, federal court, in fact, in New York City for a bail hearing. She was released on a $5 million bond and now under house arrest. Her story, though, from showbiz fame to ties to sex trafficking. Take a look. For 10 years, she played Chloe on the popular superhero show Smallville.
Some men are born to greatness, others are dragged into it kicking and screaming.
Now 35-year-old actress Allison Mack finds herself in the headlines for a sordid story charged with sex trafficking, slavery, kidnapping, and cult-like behavior. The TV star allegedly has been part of the group NXIVM, led by Keith Raniere. Mack and Raniere are accused of keeping women as slaves and branding them with his initials. According to reports, Kristen Kruk, who also appeared on Smallville, introduced Mack to NXIVM back in 2006. And on Mack's Twitter account, there are posts reaching out to celebs Kelly Clarkson and Emma Watson about a women's group. And now there are reports that Mack herself, while free on bond, is in talks with U.S. attorneys to negotiate a plea deal. All right, so let's talk about this bizarre story. Dan Abrams, a founder of Law and Crime Network, is joining us now with more details on this. It is just so wild to hear this story. Here's what we know about Allison Mack. 35 years old, born in Germany, grew up in California. She starred on Smallville, like we were showing you, awaiting sentence, but she's under house arrest. Is that typical for a case like this?
Well, look, she's in a whole lot of trouble right now, and $5 million bail is an enormous amount of bail. So, yes, is it normal when someone is possibly in discussions with prosecutors about a deal with a $5 million bail? That's not that out of the ordinary. And I think that's going to be the critical question here. It's a story we've been covering a lot here on Law and Crime. And the legal question is going to be, is she able to make a deal? Meaning, are her lawyers and the prosecutors able to come to some sort of agreement, not just on what the sentence might be, et cetera, but what can she give them? Is she going to be ready to testify against Raniere? And I think that's going to be the critical question here. What can she offer them on Raniere? Because as a very senior member of this organization, she may be able to give them information that leads to additional charges against him. So I think those are the critical questions, and that's probably why the judge granted bail here at all, because I think that there's a sense that she's probably going to enter into some form of a deal.
Yeah, but you know, when you talk about a cult-like atmosphere and her being toward the top of it, chances are, I mean, he's got a lot of these women pretty brainwashed, wouldn't you say?
Well, and that's exactly right, and that becomes the critical question. In assessing what kind of deal to cut her, the question that they have to answer is, do they view her as a victim or a perpetrator? Now, there's no question based on the charges here that she is viewed as a perpetrator. Prosecutors believe she wasn't just some low-level person. She was a high-level person recruiting other women. But I think when they're deciding, can we live with this? Can we live with making a deal with her? The question becomes, do we think she was brainwashed? And I think if they determine this is someone who was effectively brainwashed, they're going to be more lenient. If they think this is someone who really had evil intent, I think they're going to be a lot tougher on her. And they got to assess that question.
All right, it's going to be interesting to watch this play out, and of course we'll be following it very closely. Dan Abrams, founder of Law and Crime, filling us in. Thanks so much. We'll be talking with you